If you are looking for one of those videos that's going to give you a step-by-step on what you need to do in these next 90 days in order to make your dreams come true, this is not the video for you. But if you're looking for a video that is going to give you something that you may have never heard before, but you are in desperate need of hearing, please stay tuned, because I want to talk about how we have 90 days left in the year, but that does not mean that you have failed until now. And it doesn't mean that you are necessarily going to win by the end of this year. My goal is to let you know that it is not too late. If you've ever watched a movie, I'm a huge movie person, so I love watching movies. And in the movies, in the beginning, things are pretty slow. It's building up the scene. You're getting to know everybody. And then you have a moment where it looks as if all has failed and that you're going to lose, or the characters are going to lose, or they were so close, but then the bad guy got there before they could. And then you usually have a climax where there's like a pivot, like things are starting to turn in the story. And there's always that moment where there's a feeling of despair and dread and loss and wanting to turn back around. But then there's this glimmer of hope. Maybe there's just one person, or maybe a thought comes about, or maybe something just happens randomly where they have hope. They have one more chance. They have another shot to do it right, to get it right. And I want you to think of your life in that same way, because life truly is that way, where it seems as if right when there is no way you can win, there's no way that it's going to work out for you, that is when the moment changes the story. That is when your life begins to change. That is when hope reigns in. That is when the protagonist wins. So, although we have 90 days left in a year, no matter what you face this year, no matter what it looked like this year, I want you to know that you are not behind. I want you to know that it is not too late. And I want you to know that there is so much more still in store for you. I had a boss who would say to me all the time, Jasmyn, you need to slow down. In order to speed up, you first must slow down. And no matter how hard I tried to slow down, I'm sorry, yeah, somebody was calling me, so I had to fix it. Let me get back comfortable. But you all, no matter how much I would try to slow down, it seemed as if I couldn't, because I was so focused on getting the job done. I was so focused on wanting to prove myself. I was so focused on wanting to contribute to the team and show them that I was valuable, because I felt like if I slowed down, then I looked weak, or it looked like I couldn't handle what was being given to me. And that is something that has followed me all this season of my life, because when I left my 9 to 5, everything slowed down. God had to literally remove everything in order for me, almost everything. He had to remove almost everything from me in order for me to finally slow down. And that's what I want you to do. I know it may sound crazy. I know it may sound scary, because you're like, well, how am I going to accomplish all that I have set for this year if I slow down? And I promise you, when you slow down, you're able to see things a lot more clearly. You're able to look at the details. You're able to see the patterns. You're able to see what's going on around you. But if you're trying to move quickly and life is moving around you very quickly, it's hard to observe where you're at and what you need in order to keep going forward. So I want you to slow down. I want you to just stop, rest, Maybe take a week, maybe take a month. We still have 3 months left. There's a lot you can do in 3 months' time. But it's going to be hard to do it if you don't have a plan established. So that is the next piece of advice I would give. Make a plan. Start from the end and work your way back. When it came to reaching my goals, I never reached them because I didn't know how to reach them. I just thought if I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried, that eventually I would get there. And you won't get there if you don't have a strategy. You need to know what to do and what you need to do every single day that is going to push that needle forward. I think a lot of times we think like progress looks like these huge increments of movements, but it's those small tiny steps that you take day by day. There is a famous quote. It's like to walk 1,000 miles you starts with a single step, or something along the lines of that. It's simple, but it's so profound in a way of when you apply it to life. Everything that you want to accomplish will be determined by what you do in your day-to-day life. It's those small, tiny things that seem as if they don't make a difference at all. It's like, okay, if I eat 1 Oreo a day, that's not gonna do anything, because at least I'm not sitting down eating a whole cake. But if you eat 1 Oreo every single day for years straight, that 1 Oreo adds up quickly. So in the day, it may not seem like a lot, but when you look back, when you take into account just how many Oreos you didn't actually had, you're like, you know what? I probably would have been better off just having that slice of cake instead of trying to do 1 Oreo every single day. I want you to keep in mind that if it does not happen by the end of the year, that does not mean you have failed. It's not like our lives restart every single year. It is ongoing. But if you get started with your plan now, there's no telling how long it will take. One, because it may be able to be accomplished by the end of this year. But if you make a plan, you might see that, oh, you know what? It's not even possible for me to complete it by the end of this year. This is going to take at least 6 months. But if you're so focused on, I need to get this done by the end of the year, and you haven't taken the time to plan it out, by the end of the year when it doesn't happen, you're going to feel like a failure. You're going to feel let down because you're like, dang, I didn't accomplish this. Let me just stop. But had you made a plan, you would see, oh, it's not even going to be done by the end of the year anyway. So when the end of the year comes by, you will feel accomplished because you're like, hey, I only got 3 more months to go. I'm halfway there. I have halfway completed it. As long as you are making progress, as long as you are trying, as long as you are putting effort day in and day out, that is all that matters. If you keep going with what you're doing when you're working within a plan, it can't fail. A plan can't fail if you have a well-planned plan. It can't fail. In the meantime, in between time, let's continue to prosper properly